Zdravo, ja sam Random i dneska ќе зборуваме за Dragan. Dragan е од Hrvatske и сега ќе зборуваме за...
Who the fuck
Huh?
are you? Get out of my fucking house, you stupid little cunt!
I don't know where the fuck this guy came from, but he literally looks like me. Hold on, I think... Oh, he's sent by the FBI. No shit. I think he was trying to catch me. Alright, I'll forget about it. Anyway, actually I need to clean out the corpse first. Give me a minute, I'll be right back. Hello, and welcome back to another clown fiasco. Do not question what just happened, because apparently the FBI had decided to send a complete clone of me and tried to catch me, but they failed entirely. But hey, I'm not going to question that. Hello and welcome back. Whenever you think of the Balkans, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Is it the Croatians? Is it the Serbians? The Slovenians? Or the Macedonians? North Macedonians? Before some of you Greek fucks that get angry for some reason. Yeah, I'm not going to go delve deeper into that argument, because for some reason Macedonia and Greece are like arguing about like Alexander the Great and etc. But I don't want to get into that. We are already dealing with our own problems here, so I'm not going to delve into that deeper. But where am I from exactly? Anyway, well, hello and welcome to another Payday 2 video. Today we'll be talking about the fucking man, the legend himself, Dragan. One of them, probably better the heisters in Payday 2. He is one of those characters that are like very funny to listen to and very interesting to play with, because he has a lot of interesting dialogues, and the fact that the guy himself, the voice actor himself, it was an actual bank robber back in the earlier days, just makes shit more great. And the guy who actually portrayed Dragan is actually a really good actor. Like he's a really good guy. But let's ignore all of that. Firstly, let's talk about his character design, and then we'll talk about his the stuff he brings to the table. So let's talk about his suit. Dragan's suit is very unique than all the other heisters. Normally a heister, whenever a new one comes up, they usually wear like a black suit or like a suit with like different styles, to say. Like, so look at Sydney. She's wearing a black suit, but she has her sleeves rolled up and etc. etc. Meanwhile, Dragan, on the other hand, wears a much more different type of suit. He wears a more brownish type of suit, which actually makes him far more visually appealing than the rest of the heisters. And when it comes to his mask design, it's simple, it's nice, it's pretty good actually. And when it comes to his voice acting is actually really good, in both stealth and in loud. There are so many moments where he speaks both in Croatian and both in English, which is an actually interesting thought. If you really think about it, it actually makes him more unique than the other heisters, because unlike characters like Joy, where she doesn't even speak Japanese to begin with, which is kinda odd, but you know, sometimes Sokol doesn't really say that much in Russian, which is kinda odd as well, but I'm not gonna question it. But Dragan, whenever he is in a loud heist, he actually does sometimes speak in Croatian, sometimes in English, depending on like who is he like talking to or who is he marking at, and he's pretty funny, especially his pager voice lines, and it's just pretty funny. But he is a really interesting character and has a lot of personality, and he is a far more unique character that I feel like a lot of people should be playing more, because he's genuinely funny. He got his own thing. And take a listen to his voice lines.
The radio is near my crotch. My boner pressed the button, not me.
Hey! Jebem vas! I found the key card! Hand where I can see it, motherfucker! Drop it! Dozer, motherfucker! Dozer! Big guy coming! I got the dozer! Oh, it's a taser! Kill the taser! Drop it! Medic! Every medic is noble! Every medic! Ubija! Kill the shit! Stroker spotted! Stroker je eliminiran! Ja, idemo! Stay back! Unisio sam taser! Shit! Fucking medic! Got the little bastard! Pička ti materina!
So, let's talk about the weapon he brings to the table, which is the most boring weapon to ever exist in human history, that being the Lion's Roar. Dragan has decided to be a man of culture and bring in an actual Croatian gun, unlike some other heisters that bring out weapons from like other different fucking countries, which is kinda weird, but I'm not gonna question that. But hey, so let's talk about the Lion's Roar. The Lion's Roar is literally the best assault rifle in the fucking game. And no, I'm not over-exaggerating. Good ammo capacity, good ammo in reserve, good rate of fire, good damage, good accuracy, good stability, good reload speed, and good concealment. This weapon has literally everything. I don't really need to say why this weapon is the best in the game, because it's so good that it's literally boring to use. Like, trust me when I say this, like, I didn't even bother, like, try, like, really hard with these weapons. Like, I literally just ate backwards on my fucking chair and just decided to play the fucking game and just turn off my mind. That's how good this weapon is. You can use this in a dodge build, you can use this in any way, shape, or form, because this weapon is so good that it just doesn't even have any flaws to it, to say the least, because it's so good that it's very boring. When it comes to the animations and the sounds itself, it's actually pretty solid, and it's actually pretty good. The shooting sounds really clean, the reloading animation is pretty solid, everything about the weapon is pretty good. And when it comes to the modifications, you don't really have a lot of options, to say the least. The only thing you can really change is the barrel, and add in the extra muzzle attachments, the boost, flashlight, side attachments, and that's pretty much it. You don't really have any other options for, like, say, a stock or a fucking pistol grip or etc. or changing the magazine and whatnot. Mainly because it's a bullpup weapon, and a lot of bullpup weapons don't really have that much attachments to really begin with, which kind of makes sense, but, you know, I kind of wish for more attachments. But that's my only complaint. But the weapon itself is pretty good, and it's literally the #1 best in the fucking game. Do I really need to say anything else? No, of course not, because this weapon literally deletes anything that comes into the path, including bulldozers. Because this weapon is so good, you can literally just ignore everything. God damn, hold on. So let's talk about the melee weapon he brings to the table, that being Dragan's cleaver knife. It's useless. Do not even bother using this. Stay the fuck away from it. Sure, it has a fast swinging speed, but use something else, please. This weapon just does not do that much damage, and it's not even visually appealing to begin with, so just fucking forget about it. But let's talk about the perk that he brings to the table, that being Infiltrator. Infiltrator mainly prioritizes in dealing high amounts of damage with your melee weapon and gaining some bit of survivability, because instead of providing armor boost or health boost, this one actually provides a damage reduction against the damages. No shit. But let's talk about the tiers that it brings to the table. Overdog, tier 1, allows you, whenever you are surrounded by 3 or more enemies, you receive a 12% damage reduction from everything, essentially. But here's the interesting part. Your second in each consecutive hit with your melee weapon for within 7 seconds, the last one will deal 10 times the damage. So what it's essentially saying is, your second attack, and after that, you deal bonus damage. Your first strike does normal damage with the melee weapon, but after that and more, you deal 10 times the normal damage. Despite the game saying that it has like 1 second timer before this damage bonus effect is gone, in actuality it actually lasts for 7 seconds, which is weird to say the least, but I don't know why the game says it's 1 second, meanwhile the wiki says it's actually 7 seconds, and I did test this and it's actually true. It actually lasts for 7 seconds. So, instead of being 1 second, it's actually 7 seconds. Basic close combat on tier 5, Tier 5 Advanced Close Combat, Tier 7 Expert Close Combat, they all essentially act the same way. They all give you, whenever you are within medium range of an enemy, that being 18 meters, you receive an additional 8% damage reduction from everything. So, you take a total of 24% of damage reduction from these 3 together, essentially. So 8, 16, and 24. So yeah, my math is right. So, on Tier 9, Life Drain is where the interesting part comes in. Striking an enemy with your melee weapon regenerates 20% of your health, but this cannot occur for more than 10 seconds. So essentially, whenever you hit an enemy, whether it being a bulldozer, a shield, or just a basic enemy, you gain 20% of your health instantly. There's no like slow regen, it just happens instantly. This is actually pretty nice, that allows you to sort of like just hit a shield or a bulldozer for once and then just get some portion of your health back. So, you have a total of, I think, 36% damage reduction from everything. Yeah, 36. If I'm not mistaken with my math. So, the Infiltrator perk that is really powerful only on close quarters, the engagement maps. Say like Undercover, Brooklyn 1010, and No Mercy, and etc, etc. Those types of maps that are like more focused on indoors and that are like more focused on fighting enemies on close quarters. This perk is very effective because it allows you to sort of literally delete any sort of enemy that dares to come into your path. So, the only time you should be really using your melee weapon is on these certain occasions, to stun a shield with shotgun all aced, and killing bulldozers. If you combine this with pumping iron or with bloodlust basic, you're able to literally kill any enemy that comes in your path, including bulldozers. Combine pumping iron aced and bloodlust basic, you're able to two-shot bulldozers with any melee weapon. Well, not any melee weapon, but those that do like high damage, essentially, like the ice pick, the pickaxe, the katana, and etc, etc. Those types of melee weapons are actually good with the infiltrator because it allows you to deal high amounts of damage against bulldozers within a short duration. So, the only time you should be using your melee weapon is to gain your health by like striking a basic enemy or like a shield, stunning the shield with shotgun all aced, or killing the bulldozer. Do not use the melee weapon just like randomly just to kill like enemies. Only use it if you're in a scenario where you don't have time to reload your weapon, or you don't have time to like switch your weapons and you need to strike an enemy quick, you need to kill a bulldozer or stun a shield, and etc, etc. There's so many situations where this perk deck can save you, even though the damage reduction it gives you does not last you that long, but it gives you enough to survive another shot with your ICTV, because this is a tank type of perk deck. So combine this with partners in crime and hostage taker and get yourself some converted enemies, you're able to actually sustain like 4 hits, 2 from your armor and 2 from your health, because you're actually able to sustain a lot of damage if you're consistent with your health regeneration, but you have to sort of know when to strike your enemies and when to engage the fights, because you're not like a crew chief or like you're not a muscle where you can sustain a lot of damage and like just passively regain those health back quickly. With crew chief you need to have hostage taker, but we're gonna talk about that later on. But the point I'm trying to make is the infiltrator is only effective if you're playing close engagement maps, like I said, Undercover, Brooklyn 1010, and Mercy Hospital, but it's not effective on maps that are like very open. Birth the Sky, Beneath the Mountain, Counterfeit, etc, etc. So you need to, the only time you should pick this perk is if you're playing on a very closed map, to say it least. So, what are my thoughts on this perk? It is effective, it is really good, it will save you from time to time, but it's not entirely like one of the best. It's solid. That's all I can say. It's not good, but it's not bad either. It's just kind of in the middle ground. So what are my overall thoughts? Dragan as a character is a really interesting one to talk about because he is a more interesting character that has more personality than the other heisters. His melee weapon is useless, but and his weapon is literally the best in the game, and I'm not over-exaggerating. So, and his perk that is actually pretty good, only on close engagement maps, and that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to say about him other than the fact that he's a really fun, cool character that has a lot of personality and better voice lines than some of the other heisters, but people don't really play him because he's from the Balkans, which I can understand why, but hey, I'm not gonna question it, but either way. I hope you have a good day. If you excuse me, I'm going to have to burn the body that I recently just killed because the FBI decided to send in a little clone of me, so I'm gonna have to go and deal with it. So, if you excuse me, I'll go do my own thing, and you guys do your own thing. Have a good day. I wish you all the best.